Hey everybody, we are at the bee yard again today, getting ready to get started. We are only going to inspect this one nook that we are in. For those of you who joined us the last time I did a Facebook Live, I was here with Derek and we did an inspection on his hive looking for evidence that the queen was active. We knew she was in there. We had just seen her, well, by we, Derek had just seen her in his last inspection. We wanted to know, was she laying? So we went through, we did that inspection. I've actually got that video posted. It's on my YouTube page now. You can find it there at Buzzin' Blossoms Bee Farm. And so check that out. I've also reposted the link to my YouTube page, so go over there and check that out. Watch that inspection. I've also taken excerpts of it from the full video. I've taken 2-minute clips out, and I now have 2 of 3 videos on my TikTok, and so you can go there and watch that inspection as well. Anyway, I wanted to do the same thing for this hive. This hive was not an installed queen. This is one of ours. This is not an installed queen. What happened was when we did our splits, I found some queen cells, and so in this nook I installed those queen cells. It's been a while, so she should be out. If she's not out, then that's a dead queen cell. But anyway, so she's out, she's mated, and she should be laying, and I just wanted to see evidence. I had seen it at a glance in the past. I had not actively inspected for it. So today, I thought that I would take you on the journey with me to inspect for an active queen. And I've had some positive reactions in the past. Oh, you can see it. Okay, good. I was gonna say you can't even see my smoker, but you can, so that's good. Anyway, I've had some positive reactions in the past with me lighting the smoker, so I decided to go ahead and start talking to y'all while I was getting my smoker ready. You are facing the hive. I'm actually working on top of the hive right now. So once I actually go in, there we go, come on. Once I go in, I'll just tilt the camera down. But I decided to get started watching my screen just in case any of y'all joined in and had any kind of questions. Just in case the bees do start to get a little bit ornery, I do have my inspector's jacket over there on the hood of my car ready to go. However, as we have discussed before, though the inspector jackets, as inspector jackets go, is an extremely comfortable one, it's definitely very ventilated, and so it's not hot. I just don't like being in them. I don't like having the gloves on. I don't like having the jackets on. I don't like having the suit on. I like to be in my bee yard just like this. And so I decided that until they tell me otherwise, I'm going to be in my bee yard, they being the bees, I'm going to be in my bee yard just like this. But I do have it on hand because safety first. It's an absolutely stunning day. For those of you who are not in the Louisville area, just know that it is 78. We have partly cloudy skies, only partly though, mostly sun, bright blue sky. And it's just beautiful. I mean, this is one of those every beekeeper dream days. And I can't imagine myself anywhere else except right here in the bee yard. That's actually not true. I had a showing earlier today, but I didn't get a confirmation text, so I canceled it. And since I was in the area anyway, I thought, oh, I'm going to go over and look in on the bees. And then I'll reschedule a different showing with that client. No big deal. My job isn't to talk you into that property. My job is to help you find the property that you like. So that's what we'll do. All right, smoker's lit. Let's tilt this bad boy down and see what's going on. Pop a little bit of smoke in that front entrance. Pop a lot of bit of smoke in that front entrance. Now, if we see the queen y'all have been with me in the past when we've seen the queen. Many of you have been with me in the past when we've seen the queen. I always get really excited about seeing the queen. I always try to show her off to you if you're on camera or if the camera's rolling. However, if we see the queen, that's not necessarily the end result here. What we want, or the end game here, what we want is to see the eggs or larvae, capped brood, that sort of thing. I forgot to tilt y'all down so that y'all could watch. Now this top super is empty of everything except for some jars of syrup that actually should be empty. Half. So we're gonna, can y'all see? Yeah, you can. Okay. We're gonna take that on out. Hey girls, hop off. Hop off. I'll give it back in a minute. Some dang hive beetles down in there escaping the bees. The bees can't necessarily do anything to, kill the beetles, but they can chomp at them a little bit and cause them great distress. And the beetles will then try to escape the bees who are harassing them, because the bees don't like them any more than I do. And in order to escape them, they'll run into any little nook or crevice that the bee can't follow. And that's the beauty of this little trap, that you can see right here. This is what's known as a beetle blaster. I've shown you these before, but we put oil down in here, and when the beetles run from the bees, they will try to escape down into that little beetle blaster trap, and that ultimately leads to their demise. I don't know if the queen has made it up into this second nook yet, but we're going to check it out. In fact, I'm going to start on this outside edge. We're going to pull this first. Frame. That said, these bad boys are really propolized in here, because these girls love their propolis. Don't do it. Thank you. I complain about the propolis when it's in the way, but the truth is, it has been found to have antiseptic properties to it. And so it actually is how the bees, one of the ways that the bees help keep the hive clean. So we don't really complain about it too much. That outside frame is an insulator frame for the beehive. And so as you saw, it was loaded with honey, which is great. That is going to be what they use for their stores to get through the winter. I say honey. It very well could be as much of the syrup that we're providing them as it is nectar that they've converted into honey. Frankly, I don't care. That feels kind of like, oh yeah, baby. I've got egg all the way through. Yes, indeed. I can't tell. There you go. I don't know if you will be able to see the little sticks of egg down in there. I showed the camera just in case. But there is egg all through here. And what that tells me is that this beautiful queen has hatched, has mated, and is a laying machine. That one frame. Now along the upper band and outside edges, you see nectar. You'll see some bee bread in there, and I talked in a previous video about bee bread. That is a mix of honey and pollen. that they use to feed the larva. So they will be able to use that frame. They try to keep it as close to the larva, the brood, as possible. So that is a great sign. We are really excited about this. I want to look at another one just because. However, we've seen everything we wanted to see in here. Now we're doing this just for the joys of beekeeping. Which, by the way, if you haven't read it, it's a great book. All right, there's a little queen cup right here by my thumb. They build those all the time. We leave them alone unless we have to do something with them. But yeah, so there's bee bread in here, filled up all the way through the center, but down at the base of the frame is more egg. And then same thing over here. Ah, and then there's the queen. There's the queen. Come on, baby. There we go. Down there at the very bottom, you should see her walking around. We're going to put that right back here. We're going to put them right back away. We're going to let her just keep doing an amazing job. They have plenty of food. They have plenty of egg. However, I do not want them to get what is called honey bound. So I am not going to put that jar of syrup back on here. And not to mention that, but we are also getting ready to do an OAV treatment for mites. And so we don't want the food on there while they're getting ready to be treated for mites. So I'm going to leave that off. And I am just going to put back this wax moth. Used to be a wax moth. Anyway, just put back the supers, the one super and the two supers that they need with the frames, inner cover. I almost forgot the hive beetle trap, so we're going to put that right back in here so that they can deal with their beetles. Come on, get down in there. There we go. All right. Perfect. And there we have it. You guys just don't understand how exciting that is. So that queen cell came from the daughter of a queen that I grafted. In grafting, you take these little tiny tools, you reach down into the cell and you get the larva, you put that larva along with any royal jelly that came with it, put that down into a queen cup that is plastic. So we are providing that, and you do that with several larvae in order to give those nurse bees plenty of options. But the nurse bees in a queenless hive, we created a queenless hive in those cases, and what they will do in those cases is they will come along and they will turn those queen cups with the larvae that we've provided into queen cells. Some of them take, some of them don't. Some of them are too small. Some of them are just right, though. And so, you know, you got this whole Goldilocks thing going on. And they choose the queens. They raise those queens. They turn those they turn those cells, what am I trying to say? Good grief. They turn those larvae into queens, right? They raise them into queens. And before they hatch from their queen cups, or queen cells, we take them and introduce them into new nooks that are also then queenless, that we've split, we've turned them into queenless hives. We give them these strong queen cells. Those queen cells then hatch and become queens. And that's what we did on a previous hive. You may remember from some previous videos where we had a triple deep stacked hive. It was really strong, lots and lots of bees. We then turned that into smaller nooks. And that is one of these nooks. That queen got superseded So she had either laid all that she could lay, or she got sick, or blah, 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 blah. Any number of things could have happened that she got superseded. A supersedure is different than a swarm. A swarm is where the queen chooses to leave, or the attendant bees choose that it's time for her to leave, and they stop allowing her to lay. They skinny her up so that she can fly, blah, 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 and then they leave. All the bees that can fly leave. So that's an intentional thing. That's actually how the bees propagate their species. And so we actually, we don't encourage that. We actually we encourage them to get to the point where they're about to swarm, and then we try to provide them a scenario that makes them feel like they've swarmed, so that we can actually keep both the parent hive and the swarm hive, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, a supersedure is where something happened to the queen. It could be anything. All right. So she succumbed to a disease or a sickness, or which didn't happen here because we are disease free. We get inspected all the time, but it happens to other colonies. Okay. So, or honestly, in one of our inspections, we might have, see that dang propolis. I had it on my hand. You know, we're inspecting the hive. We are putting the hive back together, frames in, and as careful as we are, sometimes the queen gets rolled or smashed, or in some other form or fashion she gets wounded. So it could have been some sort of human error, or the bees may have just decided, you know what, she's been around long enough, she's running low on egg, she's not really performing to the level that we need her to perform, so they remove her, and then they raise one of her daughters or several of her daughters as queens. Whatever the case was that had them choose to not use that queen anymore, they build these supersedure cells. That's what I found that day. So in this nook, I used those supersedure cells. I allowed that queen to hatch, the strongest, you know, supposedly strongest hatched first. She went around, she destroyed the other ones. She then went out and mated when she was old enough. She came back, she started laying. That's what we have in here. And she is a beast. That first frame that we saw that had egg in it was just absolutely loaded. And so we are very excited to see that. We're going to let her continue to do her thing. We've got great hopes. And this is the daughter of that queen that I grafted. And so for me, that was a first time graft for me. So for me to see that now we are into the next generation of queens that I grafted, that's amazing. We're going to graft again this coming season, and so we're excited about that. That being said, guys, I did what I needed to do. Thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. If you have any questions, of course, please feel free to put those down in the comments, or better yet, reach out to me on Messenger, or better yet, I'm going to upload this onto my YouTube page. Y'all get over there to my YouTube page, put your comments there, allow me to respond to them. You can also follow me on TikTok. I'll see your comments there as well. Anyway, either way, however you follow me, thanks for doing it. We shall see y'all next time.